Good morning, and we are at the Red Sea here. That's a picture of it, and you can think this is what Israel had to cross. This week it stands still and sees the salvation of the Lord. I love that line, and it'll be interesting to dive into this. We've got 5 chapters this week, so it'll be easy to dive in deeper. But let's get into the Come Follow Me right now and see where we're going to go with this. The Israelites were trapped. The Red Sea was on one side and the army of the Pharaoh was advancing on the other. This is great for cinema as well. And if you think of the Ten Commandments or Prince of Egypt, how they show this, and this becomes the climax of all. We had all of those different plagues, and now they're free, they get to go. But are they? Because they've got the army of Pharaoh coming after them, and there's nowhere for them to go. Their escape from Egypt seemed would be short-lived. But God had a message for Israelites that he wanted them to remember for generations. Fear ye not, the Lord shall fight for you. And I think this is something we need to keep in our mind as we read this again in the scriptures. Remember, the Lord shall fight for you. Since that time, when God's people have needed faith and courage, they have told this story. When Nephi wanted to inspire his brothers, remember, I alluded to this yesterday as well. Let us be strong like unto Moses, for he truly spake unto the waters of the Red Sea, and they divided hither and thither. And our fathers came through out of the captivity on dry ground. When Lehi wanted his captive people to lift up their heads and rejoice, he reminded them of the same story. So did Alma when he wanted to testify to his son of God's power. And when we feel trapped, when we need a little more faith to see the salvation of the Lord, we can remember how the Lord saved Israel that day. I think this is an important part. We remember with the Passover, we shouldn't just remember the plagues and things and the firstborn son dying, but that the Lord fought their battles, that they were able to cross the Red Sea onto dry ground, and they even have a hymn for that. And we'll talk about that later in the week. The Lord can do a great work in my life, and we're going to get into these things. As you see, we've got questions here. What do you find in Exodus that inspires you to seek God's power in your life? Remember, I've talked about power before, and we'll talk about it here as well, that it's not just enough to have a form of godliness, but that we should remember the power that is there. Don't deny the power of God. And then we've got Exodus 15, that is a song of praise, which I think will be good to talk about. And the Lord can make bitter things sweet. And we're going to talk about the waters of Mara. And I know so many people who have found difficulties in their life, and as they've gone through them and as they've come out the other end, they say, I would never have asked for that, but never could want to take away the experience and the blessing that they received from it, and some of it's really hard to hear. And then we've got Lord offers me daily spiritual nourishment, and I hope that these videos are part of a daily spiritual nourishment for people. They are for me, and it's been a really good blessing in my life. And we'll talk about that further and what that means. There's 3 videos here. They're all tied together. One's a pattern, an experience, and the change. And they're all tied together, and you can watch those together. And the question, why do certain things have to be done daily to be effective? We'll cover that more. We've got a talk by Dieter Uchtdorf, another video. These videos are really good to watch, and of course I never put them on here because they're for you to watch. Jesus Christ is my spiritual rock and living water. And then look for physical objects that testify of Christ. And we'll talk more about those as we get there. And disciples help each other bear the burden of doing the Lord's work. And that's what we have this week. It is shorter reading this week, but there's a lot of stuff that we can learn from as we see them go into the wilderness and some of the things that they face there. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I know it's short today, but that gives you time to think and ponder on these things. And we'll see you tomorrow.